Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are live, and let's see how this live stream goes. Now, this is sort of in response to a video that I've done beforehand. A lot of Muslims wanted to challenge me on it. So I decided, you know what? We'll do an open call-in where you guys can call in and discuss it. So we will go over that video in just a second, as well as their sort of responses to it. As soon as I find the video, because I can't seem to find. There we go. Okay, very nice. One thing after another. There are some technical difficulties earlier getting on, but now that I'm here, let's go ahead and share this. Share this tab. We're going to go through the video, and we'll go through some of the Muslim responses to it. And then I'll show you how I went through the steps of inviting them to come on and see if they will actually call in. Again, this is open call-in. They're welcome to do it once we get to that portion. And hello, welcome, Professor Yaffel. It's fantastic to see you. Let's go ahead and dive on into this thing. So here's the video. Let me know if you guys cannot hear the sound. You should be able to by all settings. Let's go ahead and just play it. Islam, the goat religion. Don't believe me? Well, let's look at the Quran, Hadith, and the Muslim scholars. Let's read Quran 42:11. Creator of the heavens and the earth. He has made you from yourselves mates, and among the cattle mates. He multiplies you thereby. There is nothing like unto him, and he is the hearing and the seeing. The big issue here is the subject doesn't change. He has made mates for you from mankind and the animals. This is also supported in Quran 70:29 through 30. And those who guard their private parts except from their wives or those their right hands possess. For indeed, they are not to be blamed. Quran 23:5 through 7. And they who guard their private parts except from their wives or those their right hands possess. For indeed, they are not to be blamed. But whomever seeks beyond that, then those are the transgressors. But wait, I hear the Muslims, but my Quran has bondswomen or slaves in the brackets. It couldn't possibly mean animals. Well, that only works if you're unfamiliar with the Quran. You see, those words in the brackets are added. They're not in the original Arabic itself. Now, the original Arabic does tell us what someone can possess. Quran 3:14. Beautified for people is the love of that which they desire, of women and sons, heaped up sums of gold and silver, fine branded horses and cattle and tilled land. That is the enjoyment of worldly life, but Allah has with him the best return. Well, this does include animals, but what does the Hadith have to say? Sunan Abi Dawud 44:64. The Prophet said, if anyone has sexual intercourse with an animal, kill him and kill it along with him. I asked him what offense could be attributed to the animal. He replied, I think he, the Prophet, disapproved of its flesh being eaten when such things had been done to it. But wait, let's look at the next hadith. Sunan Abi Dawud 44:65. There is no prescribed punishment for one who has sexual intercourse with an animal. Additionally, Mishkat al 35:86. He reported he has said, there is no prescribed punishment for one who has intercourse with an animal. So Muslims, when the hadith are split and you're not really sure, who do we turn to? We turn to the Muslim scholars. Let's see what they have to say on this topic. Imam al-Nawawi, in one of the most respected commentaries of all time, he says about Sahih Muslim 34:9, our companions have said that if the penis head has penetrated a woman's anus or a man's anus or an animal's vagina or its anus, then it is necessary to wash, whether the one being penetrated is alive or dead, young absent-mindedly, whether it was done willingly or forcefully. If a woman inserts into her vagina an animal's penis, she must wash. And if she inserts a detached penis, the most correct is that she must wash. Aliyatawal Aluza Konani's book, Halal Vaslet, issue 23, the animal which has had intimate intercourse done upon it, if it is of a type that one wants to eat, like a sheep and a cow and a she-camel, then it is wajib to slaughter it, then burn it. And the doer of the intimate act is fined its value to its owner, if he was not the owner. And if it is of a type that one wants to use its back to carry, i.e. a beast of burden, or to ride, and its eating is not customary, like the donkey and the mule and the horse, it is taken out of spot in which it was done to another county and sold in it. So its price is given for unsure the doer of the intimate act, and he is fined the value if he was not the owner. From the Little Green Book. If one commits the act of sodomy with a cow, an ewe, or a camel, their urine and their excrements become impure, and even their milk may no longer be consumed. The animal must then be killed as quickly as possible and burned. Well, according to Muslim scholars, you have to pay the price for the animal. Unless you're the owner, then, well, they have this to say. A man is still considered pure when he releases his lust with a sheep or a goat. If there is no woman, there is no lust or sexual sin. Then the animal becomes tainted and must die. So says the Prophet Muhammad. Well, it seems that medical doctor Zakir Naik sees nothing wrong with bestiality. Let's see what Sharia has to say on this topic. Reliance of the Traveler 012.3. And whoever has intercourse with an animal, or a dead or a live woman, in the area below the private parts, or a female slave, some of whom he owns, or his sister, who is owned by him, or has intercourse with his wife in the vagina or anus, or masturbates with his hand, or you, the woman, there is no punishment for him, and he will be punished. And even this fatwa here says that it is halal, but disliked. Sex with animals before the mission, Islam, was widespread, and many narrations are narrated that it is halal, but makruh, disliked. And on the compulsory precaution, one should abandon its practice that may cause self-harm, and you must admit this to the owner of the sheep and pay the owner. Minor and DeVos, Professor Emeritus of Anthropology at the University of California, commented that among the Arab tribe cultures, bestiality with goats, sheep, or camels provides another outlet. These practices are recognized as common among boys. Historical and cultural practices on zoophilia, Serving History, a 19th century Arabic literary work, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, highlights the prevalence and history of bestiality among many Arab tribes. Robert E. L. Manners, Forbidden Sexual Behaviors and Morality, The Julian Press, first edition, 1966. A popular Muslim saying that the pilgrimage to Mecca is not complete without copulating with a camel. So is this all my sources? Is this enough evidence? For some, maybe. But let's be honest, we're not even close. And this here is really the nail in the coffin.
تبارک و تعالی چند قسم حیوان خلق کرده. یک قسم حیوان خلق کرده برای اینکه مردم وسیله سفر باشه براشون. اسب، شتر، این حیوانات چارپاست که مردم ازش استفاده میکنن برای سفرهاشون. یک قسم حیوان خدا خلق کرده که وسیله غذای مردم و اون وسیله گاو و گوسفنده که خدا اینها را خلق کرده برای اینکه وسیله غذای مردم باشه. و یک قسم حیوان خلق کرده و اون زنها و خانمها هستن. اینا عین گاو و گوسفند هستن، حیوان هستن، ولکن و خدا خلقشون کرده برای استفاده مردها، فقط واسه که مردا وحشت نکنن این زنها را به شکل خود انسان خلق کرده، اگر نه اینها عین همون گاو و گوسفند و عین همون اسب و شتر و الاغ هستن.
So women are classified as animals in Islam. And even Aisha, Muhammad's wife, agrees in Sahih Muslim 512d. It was mentioned before Aisha that prayer is invalidated in the case of passing of a dog, an ass, and a woman before the worshiper when he is not screened. Upon this, Aisha said, "You liken us to the asses and the dogs." And in some He Muslim 5:12e, you have made us equal to the dogs and the asses. Because women are classified as animals, and of course, under Sharia law, being gay is punishable by death, the only sanctioned sex allowed in Islam, according to itself, is bestiality. Just some food for thought. Well, Muslims, if your reaction to these teachings from Muhammad and Muslim scholars is this,
brother,
there's nothing wrong with you. Your moral compass is working correctly. The issue is with Islam itself and its teachings. They are not moral. But your moral compass is there because God himself put that in heart. A God who loves you and wants to know you and have a personal relationship with you. Someone who loves you so much, they're willing to sacrifice everything just for the opportunity to get to know you. If you'd like to know more about yourself and see what he has to say to you. As to the other viewers who are watching it at this point, you can either select on this video here, subscribe here, and thank you to all of them. Thank you for contributing, keeping this content going. Very nice. Well, not so very nice, but that is the topic. That is what sparked this entire thing. So then I got some rather interesting comments down below. So we'll go through some of them. And then, of course, I invited those people to this live stream here. Specifically said, hey, show up. This is your opportunity. You want to debate me? You want to challenge me on this? You want to say that you know the truth? Okay, fine. Come here. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk. Let's be open. Let's do this. So I'm going to go ahead and peg the caller in options down at the bottom. This is going to both TikTok and YouTube for now, because this video went out on both TikTok and YouTube. It was vertical on TikTok, horizontal on YouTube, and then also I had a bunch more imagery that I used for the TikTok version to make the sources actually fit. So I have those there. We have the call-in ready for any Muslim who has challenged me, who wants to come and take this talk. This is open to anyone, any perspective. I'll give you the platform. We'll go down through some of the comments, what they said, their challenges, and then how I handled it from there. So let's go ahead and take it on. Now, what I did was I invited each one on their individual comments to this live stream, as well as a group invite afterwards. So the first, at least the ones I could find. So they say nothing I said in that video was true. I was completely wrong in everything I said. I asked what specifically. Doesn't have anything. Invited him on here to give his perspective and let us know what he thinks. Challenge me on it, and then we can go through the sources. We'll see if he actually shows up. We have this gentleman here that wants Allah to put me where I deserve. Fantastic. We have this entire paragraph here. Sum total. Don't believe this false propaganda. True Muslims would never do this thing. Fine. Well, you have the opportunity to come up here and show me where I'm wrong and show me how these Muslim scholars that are referred to are wrong. I'd be very interested in hearing your perspective. Yes, this video was done in a way to invite you guys to come and have a conversation, as well as point out something that seems to be a bit of an issue with Islam. So you people don't know anything about so-called Jesus. This is what they do a lot. They'll try to shift it later on in that discussion. He does challenge me, saying he would like to have a conversation with me. Well, here we are. Most of the list that I'll show you did say, hey, we would like to have a conversation with you. You know, come debate me. I dare you. You would never do such a thing. Well, I already had this posted and ready to go for them. We'll see if they actually show up. They were well aware ahead of time that this was an opportunity for them to come and give their perspective and refute me if I was wrong on these. So let's go ahead and go through this. You know, here we go. Another one. Oh, I already did that one. Here's another one. This was a long one where I specifically invited him to do it. He said, I made a huge mistake. I was lying. I deserve to go to hell, basically. You know, delete this video. Well, this one specifically was very interesting because he starts off with like, we can do it by the grace of Allah. Delete this video or I will report it for Islamophobia. Okay, so if you're saying, hey, I can totally do everything in this video by the grace of Allah, delete this video because I don't want it to be seen, is basically what the message is. My question is then why do I need to delete it if you think that it is so fine? If you think this is okay, then why are you demanding I delete it? Well, it makes Islam look bad. Well, again, invite him to come up here and join me. We have another one here. Claims that the right hands possessed do not mean animals. I'd like to see where he could point that out, saying that that couldn't possibly be animals. Says without lies, Christianity can't memorize. Okay. Well, again, invited this one to come up and join because, again, you're accusing me of lying, accusing me of misleading people. I would love to see this comment come through and hear your perspective. Here's another one. He was upset that women are not animals. Okay, well, no. And he's saying, oh, I don't understand Arabic good enough to be able to make this decision. Well, you see, that's why I go to the Muslim scholars and the Muslims who translate this stuff. Both of them claim, by your own standard, that they are reliable. So all I do is point to what they said and say, oh, there seems to be an issue here. And he then went on and challenged me to debate and wants to talk to me. I said, fine, just come on the live stream. He claims that I manipulate the live streams and I can control it completely. And if there's something he says that I don't like, then I could just, mute him and talk over him. And there's no point in coming on a live stream because that's what's going to happen. So debate me here in the comments section. My point to him is I can just as easily, if I was being manipulative and deceptive, I could just delete their comments. Literally can. YouTube does give me the authority to delete comments in my comments section. I don't do that unless you're spamming, lying, manipulating, trying to get people's personal information, that sort of end of it, where you're trying to do something that would harm my audience. I have an issue with it. I also have an issue if you're trying to use my platform as basically your billboard. My platform is not an advertisement section for you. So, yep, already did that one. Number 10. So this is our 10th one. Invited another member to come join us. Said that he's going to make a response video to this video. This was done quite some time ago. And I checked his channel right before we went live. I see nothing there. So no response video. It's been a few weeks since this went out. And nothing so far. That's why I wanted to release it a few weeks and then do this live stream later. Also invited someone else. So I invited both of them to come join us live here. And I've yet to be joined by anyone in the comment section. I mean, anyone from the live chat or from TikTok or YouTube. Here's another one saying that the individual there, who the imam, is really, he's Shia. So Shias are really more Hindu than Muslim. So they're really a Hindu sect. My point is, they're Muslim just like you are. Plain and simple. They have different doctrine. Fine. They believe in some other things, some very odd things, but they're just as much a Muslim as you are. You go kiss an idol and believe that it takes your sins away. So this one says that it's just propaganda, just debate. Okay. And about the Zakir Naik, that's called a quote. It's not in a video. It's a direct quote from him. It was not one of the videos. So that's why that's not a video. I mean, it's pretty straightforward in my book. But again, propaganda. He wants to debate. Invite him to come join us. 14. Here's another one. This one specifically. Oh, boy. This one's a piece of work. He calls me a corpse worshiper. Okay. That, this wouldn't allow it. Okay, well, come on up. Let's have a conversation. He was, I think, the only one to now reply to the mass invite I sent out earlier today to these guys. It says, no, there's another one saying, no, you are no liar. Okay. I think you meant no, I am a liar. It just in context. Claims that the Bible allows sex with daughters, which it doesn't. I don't know who Luth is. Don't know. Bible doesn't not allow marriage to multiple wives. In fact, you look at each of the situations with the multiple wives thing, it was quite a bit of an issue. It was not well done. That was not the original intent. That's why Adam and Eve were created, and not Adam, Eve, and all the other wives. Here's one calling me a liar. They is saying that the stuff I showed does not allow bestiality. I'm such a coward, just monologuing. Okay, well, dude, just click the link. Click the link. I invited you quite some time ago to this ahead of time, and then again sent out a reminder today, over 6 hours ago. Here's another one saying that I'm a coward. And even in the video that I was referring to in this one, which is the Muhammad hijab one, which is the first video I put out. Again, I invited him on here live. We'll see if he actually shows up. He says that I'm a coward, and he dares me to say this to Muhammad hijab. Well, I didn't say that Muhammad hijab supports it. I just pointed out what the sources said that Muhammad hijab says are reliable. So there's that. 20 here. So these are 20 different Muslims who challenged me, who I specifically invited. There are more, but this is just who I wanted to highlight here specifically. He says, don't lie this obviously. Okay, yeah, I know. I'm not lying. Claims that he's a Muslim, and this is the first lie he's ever heard from me. I am deeply concerned for you, sir. If you have watched multiple of my videos, and you are a devout Muslim, and which you still are, according to your testimony, and this is the first thing you have an issue with, I have covered a lot of topics you should have an issue with. If this is the very first video you have ever watched of mine, and you've watched many of mine according to what is applied here, and this is where you have a problem, so truthfully, it's still, I mean, this one is pretty bad, but there are still many, many worse out there. Then we went ahead and invited, I just wanted to put out this reminder to my special guests that today we are doing this live stream. And again, there's more than what was on this list. This was just the ones I could find on YouTube. Sometimes I couldn't find the people. I don't know if their accounts got deleted or they're just not there anymore. Don't know. But I invited them. They want to challenge me. Come on up here. And we actually had one respond, which is one that I pointed out earlier. It's a clown inviting others to his circus. No thanks. I am above you. Oh, talk about arrogance. Dude, seriously. This is a couple hours ago. I mean, okay. So I put out a video. You have an issue with it. I say, okay, you have an issue with it. That is fine. Why don't you come up here and talk to me? We'll have a conversation. I will turn my entire platform and give you an opportunity to come and turn my entire platform to a stage where you can come show me that I am wrong. If none of these Muslims show up, not a single Muslim shows up to refute me, I would have to conclude that they all agree with it. Or they all see that my logic is beyond question. So those are the people who challenged me on it. I opened this up to them. I said, okay, you guys can come join me. We'll have a conversation about it. We'll speak about it. We'll see where it goes. Who knows? You know, things could happen. Come show me I'm wrong. And so far, we got nothing. So let me go ahead and send out that open call-ins. I'm not seeing any comments. I'm seeing a lot of people join on TikTok for a bit. I have not seen any decent comments on there yet. I could be missing something. So if you got something on TikTok you want me to see, go ahead and post it. We have someone saying they're cowards. If they don't show up, yes, that would be the conclusion. They're all cowards. If they do show up, then I've got to show respect for that because they came up, they owned it, and at least are willing to have a conversation. So, yeah, there are, again, if you guys haven't seen that video, half of the fun of that video is going down to the comment section. Because the comment sections there are pretty telling. Definitely with a lot of people giving their testimonies about things that they saw while over in the Middle East or what they've been told by people who have been over in the Middle East themselves. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And again, I wouldn't take just a random Muslim to say, see, this is the ideal. But to say, hey, all these things are showing me that there is an issue here. They are allowing this. There are documents of this. There are Muslim scholars nowadays saying that this is okay, that we should sign off on it. There are big issues here. And if they disagree with them, again, more than willing to have them call in and step up. If they want to continuously call me a coward, and you can see that in the comment section quite a bit, that they want to call me a coward on this, but yet don't show up to this live stream here. It's in the, the results in the pudding here. Don't eat it. I don't want to know what that pudding actually is. Interview any donkeys about it. Nah, tempting. Maybe I should start with the goats. I think the list would be quite long. But according to a lot of the sources that are there on this topic, you are to kill the animal and You're not allowed to sell it in your own like village, but you can go to the village next door and sell it. There's one story in the comments section. I didn't grab the stories, but there's one story in the comments section. I recommend you guys check that out on the video itself. But where someone said, yeah, that's why, I forget who it was. One of their family members was stationed over in the Middle East, and they wouldn't eat any of the meat because they don't know what has been done to it. And that, look, I wasn't even thinking of it in that perspective. But lo and behold, someone actually thought of it that way, and oh boy. Oh, man alive. Yeah, according to one of the most reliable Muslim scholars, all you have to do is wash afterwards, and you're clean. Wash, that's it. You don't even have to use bleach. I swear, after I was done with this entire thing, I was about ready to bleach my eyes out. Boycott halal. Yeah, well, I originally did a video about, well, halal meat, meat sacrifice to idols, that concept. Yeah, you might want to skip the halal meat if this is what is acceptable. And believe me, if they are able to sell this to fellow Muslims, just not in their own village, believe me, they will sell it to the kuffar. They will sell it to you to eat. And there's just something that's not quite right about that. Okay? No. I don't think the meat would taste. Maybe the meat might not be anything different, but no, thank you. No, thank you. Should point out, what was you saying? Their biggest issue is that, just wash afterwards. Yeah, well, the women were included in that list, and there's as I showed later on, there's a lot of different documentation about it being common. And yes, there are certain parts in the Middle East that's required for a boy to participate in this in order to become a man. In fact, they have issues in one nation particularly that they have a ritual revolving around river dolphins that are now endangered due to global warming and, well, this practice. There's a petition out there, by the way. If you just type it in, you can find it pretty easily. That says, let's stop this. Let's not do this. If you'd like to sign that petition, it's a good idea. I think you might want to sign it because holy cow. If you're driving an entire species to the brink of, extinction due to your desires, due to your lusts, you have a huge issue. This is something you definitely need to be taken care of. Good night. Rest well. See you later. I know it's late for you guys there. Oh, yeah, it's horrendous. I did a whole stream with Hatun where we talked about it, and I showed the actual page. In fact, I might be able to find that page itself here. I don't know if I want this in my history. Go. I'm trying to do this in private window. Even then, okay. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. It didn't take me very long to find this beforehand. Jihad Watch has a whole article on it by the look of it. Not sure if that's associated with Robert Spencer or not. But yeah, it's, man. So let's go ahead and share this one instead. So here's the article on it here. Okay. Yep. Oh, that's not the right one. That's a whole nother issue. Not an issue for this one, though. Unfortunately. Let me see. Same nation. Pakistan. Because it's the Pakistan river dolphins that are being driven to extinction due to overuse. Change.org, I think it is. There we go. That's this one. And I actually used this image in, I think, the TikTok version of the video that we shown earlier, the vertical one. So there you go, right here. I'll get rid of the comments here. Yep. And driving them to extinction. This is from change.org. And it goes down and describes the entire process. I am not reading that for obvious reasons. I'll also not be reading the title of this petition itself for obvious reasons. But, you know, Islam be Islam. So where's PETA when you need him? Yeah, that would be the correct one. Phil has it right there. Yep, that's the one that we dove into and went through some of the references and really took this apart. Unfortunately, I'm hoping this is the last video I have to do on this topic and I can go to more pleasant topics about Islam. But let's be honest, it just keeps going downhill from here. Luckily, it might not be too terribly bad. So Muslims, where are you at? It has been half an hour. You guys challenged me to debate you. Well, here I be. We're saying I'm not consistent here. I'm sorry. But if your accusations on, oh, look, he's a coward, and then I open up my platform to have you call in, guess what, guys? Just to let you know, that's not what a coward would do. A coward would just delete your comments. Instead, boom, here. I'll go ahead and say anyone else that wants to call in, if you guys have heard of have firsthand stories or have known someone who has gone over to the Middle East that has this as a testimony, you're more than welcome to come up as well. And you know what? Anyone else that has an opinion on it, I'll let you guys have an open stage to it because I will give priority to the Muslims who join. But other than that, we'll go ahead and do this as an open one just to give them more time to join if they're going to join. Because let's be honest here. They wanted this. It was not my doing, but they chose this fight. Lo and behold, they don't want to show up. So let me post this on TikTok as well, because we are still actually live on TikTok, which I'm kind of surprised about, all in all. Kind of surprised. We've even got some people over there watching. No words. I see you there. I see you watching. Very simple. Giving the full URL. Change.org. Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. Yep. YouTube might just delete your comment on there, but if you go there, you search that, you can sign that. I don't know how good what the results are of that, but I don't know if they'll listen to the petition, but I gotta do something, right? Oh, other than bleach out your eyes after looking at that stuff and reading that, again, guys, humanity's messed up by itself. Islam just encourages the worst of the worst of the worst out of humanity and then promises them that for eternity. As long as you do it in the right way, in the Islamic approved way, then you can do whatever you want. So, oh, look, I know one of the comments going to be, oh, look, he's just up here monologuing. Of course I'm up here monologuing. You guys too chicken to come up here. What about ears? I'm just reading articles, okay? I'm not listening to anything. Oh, Phil, believe me, you do not want to dive too far deep into this because that river goes deep. And there is some seriously messed up stuff that is labeled halal, except Muslims will still try to tell me that Islam is the most moral religion ever. Malarkey. If this is what your religion allows, I question it. So, Muslims come up. I don't even see it. Are there any in the live chats? I don't know about no words, but I don't see anyone in here. Maybe? Nope. Yep. Well, if you haven't seen the last video of me in the Kaaba, that was a fun time in the Kaaba. Just reenacting some things with just different props. And the Muslims are losing their minds about it, which is hilarious. Going up, yep. Daughter of the Most High, yep. Corpse worshiper. Yeah, Muhammad to jump into a grave with his dead aunt's corpse and copulate with it. To discussing, think of it. Yes, that has been my entire research into this. The videos, I've done a couple shorts on this topic, and then the massive video that I released. And then, of course, prepping for this live stream. So, yeah, it's pretty bad. So, yeah, this is something that is, again, ongoing because in that video, as you guys have seen previously in the video, that I did do, went through the ages as much as I could, do multiple different scholars, old and new, and the views haven't changed very much. Which definitely Ali Dawah's, not Ali Dawah's, but Zakir Naik's view on it was rather interesting. But yeah, they'll be able to look up the fatwa on it right here. That was, oh boy, that's all online, and that's pretty clear. You must admit it to the owner. Okay, any other punishment? Nah. Yeah, that's it. That's all you got. That's all you got to do. Nothing big. Nothing to worry about. What's so bad about this is I even had to cut down a lot of my resources. So a lot of them were a lot dirtier than what I showed. That gets so bad. So it says that 5 daily prayers. Yeah, sorry. TikTok's like, yeah, I didn't get any audio from you. I'm like, yes, because I was thinking. Well, yes. Or by a woman, yes. Again, Aisha was very clear on that you made us equal to women. Very simple. Now, there's also interesting facet to that because it doesn't state how far ahead. It's just if you're like failed or not. But it doesn't state how far away you have to be. So, I mean, if a woman walks on the other side of a wall, does that invalidate it? I mean, there really isn't any limit to this. You see, Islam was really bad at actually giving limits and actually thinking through this process. Muhammad just kind of assumed that you would go along with whatever he said without question. yeah, Islam only gets worse and worse and worse, which is what their point was. And like, yeah, because there's that. It's like, okay, if women are animals, and it's like, it's not really any rights a woman gets that an animal doesn't have. I mean, a woman has to go out with her husband or male relative. A woman has to be escorted everywhere. Doesn't seem much difference. I even looked into, with the help of my wife, Elle, and tried to find out, because the first thing that would pop into my mind is, well, a woman can inherit, right? Well, I wasn't able to find anything that says an animal can't inherit. So there's that too. Well, we did find that prophets are only supposed to leave behind wisdom and yada, yada, yada. And then animals can have wisdom. So I guess from that you could extrapolate, but it's kind of loose on that. Sort of, I'd say, a bad argument just because of the lack of information. Yeah. I wish it wasn't. I wish it wasn't a thing, but it is a thing. Yes, women inherit half of what a man inherits because of her deficiency in both religion and intelligence. So, but I didn't see anything that says a goat can't inherit a full fortune. So I don't know. Haven't seen that. And yay, look at that. Thank you for sharing the membership and expanding this slowly as we continue to progress together, hopefully growing closer to Christ one step at a time. So again, I'm now turning this live stream open to anyone to call in, Christian, Muslim, atheist, whatever. Give me your perspectives on this topic. You are more than welcome. I'll allow you to have the first, well, I'll ask a couple questions first, because I gotta be honest, I gotta ask a couple questions first. Confirm where you're coming from, and then I'll turn it over to you and ask you what your perspective is on this. So, and just to let you know, the white trash panda gave 2 memberships individually each. So cool. Thank you. Thank you for handing those out. It's a great time. I actually have some things in the works that will only be for members, such as like behind the walls, like some clips that I didn't, definitely videos that I was going to put in the shorts, but I didn't be able to put in the shorts because I have to cut it to make sure it meets the requirements. I might release videos that would be members only, that would be sort of behind the scenes style, I guess. Just stuff I couldn't fit in shorts or in videos themselves. So sadly, I must say I must get back to the topic. I leave everything to my goat. Yep. I mean, seriously, what the Muslim imam said, I mean, that is pretty damning. My gosh, when I came across it actually a few years back. I was so shocked by what he actually said. So let me, you know what, I'm going to play that again here.
تبارک و تعالی چند قسم حیوان خلق کرده. یک قسم حیوان خلق کرده برای اینکه مردم وسیله سفر باشه براشون. اسب، شتر، این حیوانات چارپاست که مردم ازش استفاده میکنن برای سفرهاشون. این یک قسم حیوانه. یک قسم حیوان خدا خلق کرده که وسیله غذای مردمه. و اون مثل گاو و گوسفنده که خدا اینها را خلق کرده برای اینکه وسیله غذای مردم باشه. و یک قسم حیوان خلق کرده و اون زنها و خانمها هستن. اینا عین گاو و گوسفند هستن، حیوان هستن، ولکن و خدا خلقشون کرده برای استفاده مردها، فقط واسه که مردا وحشت نکنن این زنها را به شکل خود انسان خلق کرده، اگر نه اینها عین همون گاو و گوسفند و عین همون اسب و شتر و الاغ هستن.
And we're proud of that.
Yep, they're proud of that. And that is, again, in line with the Hadith in some regard. So you could definitely see that. What doesn't, I sometimes have a lot. Yes, okay, sorry. I started answering that question before I finished reading it. Fantastic, funny. No, there's still more references I like to put into shorts than what I really can. The 1 minute limitation is such a pain to be able to get all the sources within, because if you discuss with Muslims, you need multiple sources in order to prove anything, because they will just run from one to the other. That's why I tried to cut ahead with the video that I released earlier on this topic, which specifically says, okay, if the Hadith seem to be in conflict with this, where do we turn? We turn to the Muslim scholars, and then we go ahead and go to the number one Muslim scholar on Sahih Muslim. Sahih Muslim, the one that gave the best commentary on it. And that's the one I go to, give the chapter and the reference. And still, all I can hear in the background is the entire time. Oof. There we go with another reference. Yep. There are so many more. And even like the longer video that I released, I want to try to keep it to 10 minutes, because that seems to be like a sort of magic-y number. And it also works for TikTok because you can do vertical videos up to 10 minutes. And I wanted this to go out on both because for some reason TikTok seems to be very popular with the Muslims. So, yep. If you read into it and start looking into it, it doesn't take long. It's one of those things that they keep hidden, but only surface level deep. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Think about that for a second. Okay, so according to Islam, your mother is an animal. That's enough right there. No. My daughter is not. My wife is not. They are so much more valuable than that, and so is every human life. Is so much more valuable than a lot of people give them credit for. I mean, for peace sakes, Christ was willing to lay down his life just for the opportunity to get to know you. You are created in the image of God Almighty. And you are extremely, extremely valuable to him and to the rest of us as well. And Islam just dehumanizes all of its followers, teaching that there's nothing more than slavery. You can only be a slave to Allah, where the real position that we are offered by God is as his child. And that is a beautiful thing. But no, the women are just animals. The women are just beasts. They are like domestic animals. That's simple. Yep. Raise our children. Yeah, that's the role God gave them, and it's just massively valuable. There's no children, themselves are our future, and that is where our future is going, is where we will all eventually go, be a nation or a people group. Wherever the children are is where it is. And even, sorry to say, even Hitler saw that. That's why he was so critical in having the Hitler Youth going. And then to call their primary caretakers and their mothers animals, that's horrendous. But again, that's dehumanizing. That's removing a human element from it. So plain and simple. So, I mean, so far, guys, Muslims that said, I will debate you. Simple. It'll be simple for me to refute you. It's just debate. Just stop monologuing and debate. Well, hey, seems like the people who want to challenge can't step it up. Go to my comments, my community section real quick here and check to see if there's any other replies to that post, because I specifically tagged quite a few in that post. Again, I've invited over 20 Muslims. Will any of them show up? That is an awfully good question. We'll have to wait and find out. So far, the answer is no. They're all a bunch of cowards. They have nothing to hold on to. They have no actual substance behind them. So, nope. That's it. That would be the strength of Islam, which, of course, is one of their comments. I forget which one it was, telling me that they, that's the strength of Islam, that they could refute me. What was it? I think, nope, not that invite. I think it was right here, part 2 of this one here. Challenge me on this topic, any topic, Quran, Bible, Torah, nothing you like. Well, I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure you meant like, I'm sure I don't hold this against anyone whose English is like their second language. Far be it from me to hold them to that. But I'm offering you anything you want. Anything you say. Okay? Today, now, live on here. Click the comment section here, and you're good to go. Oh, but you picked the moment that I decided to go pray. How many times have I heard that excuse used? Guess what? It doesn't take you an hour to pray, so you definitely should be in here by now. Just calling you guys out. Definitely when you guys want to claim something. If you want to claim the victory, you've got to be willing to put in the work to do this. This is, right here is where it is. This is why Islam is too powerful. Because they can challenge me. I guess it's a her. I'm assuming I am her. Or she meant I'm here. I don't know. Maybe it's I'm here. I'm challenge you. Let's do it. They wanted to have this tit and tat in the comment section. Again, that's stupid. Because just having conversation, we can cut down to the quick real fast, get it done, address it, and go forth. I mean, if you guys have watched enough of my live streams beforehand, like last time we had callers come in, we had a nice discussion, it was nice and peaceful, it was a fantastic job. We had a younger gentleman call in, I think it might have been a teenager, he sounded like almost like a kid, call in, and we had a wonderful conversation, very respectful, going back and forth, just going through the references, saying, hey, well, did you look at this? The topic was, why do you believe in Islam? What's your reasons? You gave a decent enough reason. I don't think it held up to criticism once you actually took a look at it, but it was perfectly fine. His criticism was, well, if Muhammad was not a true prophet, then hey, you know what? He should have not been there. He should have recanted. He went through too much suffering. He must be a prophet because he went through too much suffering and traveled so far. And my point to him was, I've got 12 other people who traveled a long distance, who died for what they claimed to be God, that they all believed in the triune God, and their deaths are documented. Sorry, if 12 people, if your standard is that because he suffered, he must be telling the truth, I got 12 people he would call a liar that suffered more than him. So. Oh. So, nope. Yeah, I don't do debates in the comments sections because there's just not. People can't spell. I don't like it because it just doesn't seem to be much there. I'd rather just have them come on, we have a conversation, and go from there. Their main reason, if you do see that comment there, was, oh, I'm not, you control the live stream too much. You can mute me. Well, I can also just delete your comment too, so that doesn't actually make any sense at all. Because I can just go through and start deleting comments left and right. I don't do that, but I could do that, so it's just as much control there as it would be here live with me. And you know what? Do your thing, I guess, because you ain't coming on here to do this thing. At least not yet. So again, this is open to anyone who wants to give their opinion on this topic now. So we're opening it up to anyone. Nothing new from them. TikTok, you guys chill over there. Yep, they're chilling over there. Yeah. I think it's pretty straightforward here, guys. They challenged. They wanted to pick a fight. They aren't willing to step up and actually put it there. And that's 20. That was 20 Muslims. And one of them said, I marked it on my calendar. I'm so going to totally be there. And where you at, buddy? Where are you at? You guys shouldn't let me just walk all over your religion like this. In fact, we might have, if I end up calling this live stream closed, we might have to have a correction situation going on here for all 20 of the people who were specifically invited. Definitely those who chickened out. So, just saying, I'm not sure if you want my correction on this book. And yes, that is a dirty stick. And yes, that might be a stick that some dogs might have been fighting over when I stole it from them, dressed up like Muhammad, and yelled at them. Which that was not recorded, but it was hilarious. Yeah, that was one of the points I had on the video itself, because if homosexuality, and we know that it is banned in Islam with the death penalty, is considered absolutely wrong. And then it seems pretty rough. Okay, so we do have a caller in here. So, hey, let's go ahead and have you on up. Welcome.
How are you doing?
Fantastic little icon. Fantastic. Okay.
Thank you.
Just ask a couple questions. Are you Christian, Muslim, atheist?
I'm actually Muslim. I actually very much founded the fact that, you said that, Islam supports bestiality as highly ridiculous. You claim from Surah Shura, that verse 11, I think. That thank you very much. The Quran says from meat. All right. Let me pull up from.
Hello? I can't hear you. If you're using a phone and you tabbed over.
This is me.
Okay, there. I can hear you again. Are you
My
using Are you using a phone?
Yes.
Okay, if you tab over, it's not my doing. StreamYard will disconnect you. So, and I can't. I literally have no control over that.
That's fine.
So,
I have
let
a
me
question.
see here. One
You
second.
you said
here.
that you said you have questions, right?
Questions? Yeah, I just asked you're Muslim, what your positions are.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. And
All right, I'm Muslim.
that was it. I just want to establish that.
I accidentally got off my rails.
Okay. So, what's your perspective? You were saying which Quran verse do you want to go to specifically right away?
Yeah.
I'll pull it up for you.
You said, thank you very much. Islam is a good fucking religion. What do you just censor out with like you know, like
Primarily this.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
I thought was very poetic.
Is there like the Quran inside there?
The Quran inside this one?
Yeah.
No, but I've made quite a few of them.
Great. Please don't put the Quran in there.
Actually, right here. You know, I'm the one that made them, right?
Okay, yeah. Never mind.
There. Now it is.
Yeah,
now
I
it's
get
got the piece of the Quran in it.
But my point is simple. Why would you actually very much rip a piece of Quran off, or a mushaf? A mushaf is actually excuse me. A mushaf is actually very much what you call like a sheet from the Quran. Why would you rip off a piece of mushaf and put it inside the goats? When thank you very much, you can obviously just get a sheet and then just write down like something in there. Write down like the Quran verses or ayahs in Arabic, and put the same thing on like your goat thingy.
Well, I could have done that. I chose to use the Quran because it's more accurate.
You mean because thank you very much, you actually like offend a lot of Muslims, and that's your get to go?
I don't understand what you're referring to.
Well, I mean, thank you very much. You can always get a sheet of paper, right?
Yes.
Instead of just like a mushaf.
Yeah. So what? If I were to recreate part of the Quran on a piece of paper,
yep,
rip it up so that it was torn up, and then put it into the mouth of a goat, would that not be the same offense anyway? By some Muslim standards, the answer is yes, it would be. But okay, so that would be the point. Yes.
I'm not sure
why. Because the Hadith clearly says that Aisha's goat ate a piece of the Quran.
No, that was a disproven debunked lie. You can check the Quran Ibn Huruth. You can check
Ibn Fibbin. Yeah. Ibn Fibbin's your source? That guy's a joke. Ibn Fibbin's a joke, dude.
No.
Don't use him as that. No. Seriously, that's some weak sauce.
Apus, apostate prophet, actually very much ran away from him.
Okay.
That was like 3 years ago. What's the point of doing that?
Well, you insulted someone. So I'm just correcting some issues here.
Honestly,
use a very derogatory, insulting concept.
What?
Use a very derogative and insulting phrase for someone.
Somebody call him Apus. People call him Apus.
There we go again.
You call him AP?
Now, you see this? The issue with this is, according to the Quran, anyone that leads someone to sin is also partially responsible for that sin, right?
What sin? What sin? How is that a sin?
Okay, so ripping up the Quran is not sin.
If somebody hurts your feeling, is that literally thank you very much hurting their? If somebody
so said it 3 times,
that's thank you very much a sin.
So that's 3 pages.
Yeah, I mean I can call them Gapus, Apis, Gapus.
Okay, very simple. If someone's just going to come on here and be derogatory, that's very fun. That is not allowed. Part of coming on here is you need to be respectful, and we can go from there. But if you're not, then I will just do this process. Very simple. I mean, seriously. That was nasty, extremely derogatory, and he wasn't even part of this conversation. It was not part of the topic for this live stream or anything. So now I need to go buy myself a bunch of more goats and offer them for sale, which I will start doing because this is just getting outrageous. And I've got a bunch of these papers that I just need to get rid of. So that was the best the caller got. The caller just insult. Okay, fine. Keep the Quran off to the side. I got one more paper. Because by my count, that would be his limit. And go from there. So, and that's the best the Muslims have. Is that the best you guys got so far? The best defenders of Islam. That is the strength of Islam. Derogatory, insulting. That's it. Yep. Yeah. Come on, guys. Give me something better. If you want to hit a topic, let's hit a topic. Now, he claims that the Quran Hadith with the goat was found to be debunked. No, it's not. It's Sahih, dude. It is Sahih. And any Muslim scholar who nowadays pulls it out of their rear end and says, "Oh, see, I don't think that is reliable," is full of a bunch of crap. Yep, he's got to bear the burden according to Islam. Now, not according to Christianity. According to Christianity, he's perfectly fine. That's why I believe that. Now, according to Islam, he now has to bear the burdens of each of those pieces of paper that are ripped up, which would be burning in hellfire for eternity. Yep, absolutely. Much more peaceful. Because last coming to serve, this is my own Quran. It's not his Quran. I didn't steal a Quran from him. I didn't take a Quran from him. It is the Quran that I own, my own possession. There you go. I do need to, there is a comment on one of the videos that I do need to reply to, which I will be doing a bit of a creative art piece with it. And I think I will label that as such. It's an art piece later on with the Quran. My own style. I know I don't do origami, so I can't really take that. That would be both David would, and then my wife also does that. I don't do origami. I mean, this is what happens when I end up touching pieces of the Quran. I mean, ends up ripping. Now, just for clarification, these are Arabic. Right there. No question about it. The Arabic Quran. Boom. Done. Finished. He's finished. He had nothing more than that. I mean, seriously, if you're just going to come on, immediately start with the insults. He had nothing. I'm trying to think of any of the arguments that he put forth other than Ibn Thibin said once upon a time that a Sahih Hadith was not reliable. Origami frogs, that's more origami than I think I have done. Well, I mean, I did do the candles for Muhammad's birthday, for the Quran's birthday party. But I don't think I did anything past that. And I don't know if El's ever released that full video yet of what happened to those candles afterwards. Which I will need to check up on those. Big snowman. I think that's a little snowball. That's a little cheating. But that is pretty funny. he did want to go to the Quran first, right? Because I know which one he wanted to go to. And if I specifically look at that one, let me actually pull that up, because I think I'm trying to go through his argument and think if there's anything actually like legitimate. He said, I think I might have actually killed it. No, there it is. Okay. I say, I know I had it up because it's one of the references I used here, right here. Made for yourselves, mates, and among the cattle, mates. The subject of who they're mating with doesn't change in this at all. It doesn't. Still made for you. And then it has a group from yourselves. So from yourselves, mates. And among the cattle, so another group, mates. That doesn't say, now that does go in line with a lot of pagan theology, a lot of pagan mythology, a lot of the pagan concepts of, you can look at Greek pagan theology. You can look at the how the Minotaur was, birthed. Again, at your own discretion. And it was very similar to that sort of concept. So the caller wouldn't even let me pull up any references. He couldn't pull it up himself. I offered to pull this reference up for him, but he didn't want to go that far. Oh, well. C'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. So, again, Muslims, you're welcome to call in. Now, I didn't recognize the guy's name. I don't think it was one of the people I specifically called it. I probably should have asked him specifically if he was. I'm assuming not, because that's not the name he chose to come under. So I guess everyone else on this list here, going down through, all these guys are still on the hook. Every single one of you that you have chosen not to show up. Some random guy decided to show up instead of you. You're going to give kudos for him at least being willing to step up. Being an idiot about it, now that's on him, not on me. But I at least offered it. So, and he is out of there because, again, we do not, if you come on here and start cussing people out, the answer is no. I do not allow that on this platform. You need to be able to come in, give an opinion. So, and nope, don't see anyone on that list that matches it. Fine. Then all the other people are still on the hook. On the hook, line, and sinker. The answer is no. I'm looking at some of the comments. There's really no defense for this. This falls apart pretty quickly once you actually see the sources and what is actually the ruling given. Yeah, you could say, well, you don't understand the Arabic, and the Arabic kind of implies that it is, it's got to be good. My response to that, whether it's got to be women in this, my response to that is, first of all, I'm not the one that translated this. This is the Muslim scholars who translated it and said that this is good. This is Quran.com. It's not my website. This is specifically a Muslim website. It is not a Christian website. So there's that. Made something multiplies, then the verse should be banning, marrying prepubescent girls. Yeah, but it doesn't. And Islam allows marriage to prepubescent girls. Muhammad did. Muhammad married Aisha when she was 9 years old. And she was, he married her when she was 6, consummated when she's 9, and at the age of 9, she was prepubescent. But let's be honest, the Muslim didn't really want to debate the different Muslim scholars that have talked about the tafsir. No, the fatwa. No. Didn't want to discuss this fatwa. Now, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Never mind, again, this is not a Christian website. Or the writings of the Muslim scholar. Again, this is from volume 3, chapter 22 is where this comes out of. And I don't have a digital version of this ready to be able to upload. That's why it's like this. But that would be the reference there. If anyone's curious, read it. But be ready. Be ready for a lot of garbage. So let's see what you guys had to say about that whole discussion there. Change topic. Yeah, he changed that pretty quick. You didn't get to the verse. My goodness, he didn't even allow me to pull up the verse. Yep. Yeah. Again, if you look at Reliance of the Traveler, translate the parts that they're not translating. It gets bad. It's very interesting what is there. Yep. Immediately started insulting. I started asking me. And he said, well, that's the goat has been debunked by a person who has been found to be someone who fakes hate crimes. So, yeah, the only time I've ever been to his table is when he wasn't there. Although I'm pretty sure his guys would remember me, considering I stood right next to him the entire day and yelled about things Muhammad did. They weren't too happy about that. Oh, well, not surprised. Yep. Yep, plain and simple. Okay, guys. I mean, Muslims, that's the best you got. Of the 20 Muslims who were invited, over 20 Muslims who were invited, specifically a bunch of them mentioned here, and I've shown over 20. This was the best you got. A guy who comes in here, decides he wants to start insulting, complains about me using a piece of the Quran and a goat, which sure. And maybe eventually, again, maybe I'll sell these someday. Don't know. I know I did 20 of them by donation because you guys banned me off TikTok for a bit under a false flag. Well, so far we're still up on TikTok, so maybe they learned their lesson. Because I would probably have to make 20 more of these and set them aside for some sort of event if they banned me again. Don't know why 20. I just picked 20 off the top of my head to answer that question. Why 20? I don't actually know. So, guys, am I missing something? Am I missing something with that collar or something? Oh, it's got a lot of that junk on there. They promote that quite a bit. But yet there are a lot of Muslims there, so that's why I'm still on TikTok. And if they ban me, well, I guess I'll put these pieces of paper to better use. Man, there'd be mass production here. Maybe I need to get mass production of the goats eating the Quran. Very simple. So, I don't know. I'm a little lost. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't have high hopes that a lot of Muslims were going to come, the ones that specifically said they would debate me. I had some hope that at least a couple of them would show up. 1, 2, have a good discussion. Be able to pull up at least one source before they decide to start insulting the snot out of everything. But no, that was a very faulty dream of mine. I was optimistic, and lo and behold, I should have known better. Impressed that I'm still on TikTok. Well, I think they saw what I did last time. So they kept their mouth shut this time. So, and they won't be able to ban me afterwards because TikTok deletes the live streams afterwards. I don't know why. They do. It's really annoying. It's like, I live stream this stuff. I like it to stay up for a bit, but no, they got to remove it. Those Islamophobes. Yeah. Yes, don't like the sources being read. Don't like the sources being read at all. So, now I know that some hadith do say that it is not a goat, that it was a sheep, but still. Maybe I'll share this one instead. Again, here it is, plain and simple. It's still there. Still the same one. They're abrogated not in recitation, but not ruling. So they were still in effect, the ones that were eaten. The Arabic word can mean sheep or goat. That wouldn't surprise me at all. That's why it's translated both ways. I don't think it matters. For this point, it is a goat. Although they are extremely different breeds. So if you have the same word, mean the same word for two different animals, I can see where it could get confusing unless you have a specific name for the animals. So if I go to a place and I say, I drink goat milk, that's not the same as drinking sheep milk. Question for Elle, if she's taking a break from her channel. She has had to for a little bit. She does have some videos that will be coming up that will be rather interesting. Let's just say my whole costume in the last short that I released was inspired because of other videos that she wanted to work on and has going. So I did a couple of scenes for her. And she's got some epic ones coming up that I think will be hilarious. Waiting for him to release the pigs versus the Quran video. I don't know if I don't actually know if he has that in his back pocket, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to check TikTok, and yeah, we're still here. Yeah, no words is still there. He's the only one, but hey, good job on working it through. Sticking it out, man. Congratulations. So, Muslims, where are your champions? Where are even your personal champions? I do remember my last live stream, the best one that got on there was a kid. And that was the best, that is the strength of the Ummah, is that a little child is brave enough to come up here and talk to me. Pretty sure he says he does. I wouldn't be surprised. He likes keeping things ready to go. I know he has quite a few things ready and waiting if anything ever occurs. Now, those videos may never actually see the light of day, depending on, again, the actions of the Muslims themselves. So, okay. Well, let me see here. I'm about ready to call you guys out. Just say all you Muslims there are a bunch of cowards who challenged me on this. And up 1 second here. There we go. TikTok doesn't like it when I stream so long. They want me to make sure I'm still alive occasionally. I don't know why. So they always tell me I got to do these little checks. So, but like I was going to be saying, hey, you know what, Muslims? 20 of you over 20 of you challenged me. I invited you on here to have this discussion. Only one that came up wanted to talk about AP with very vulgar language. And that's not going to fly. Because I'm not going to accept that or allow that. You know, I wouldn't even allow that for a Muslim. Speaking about another Muslim. Not going to happen. And yes, I would include AP as a friend of mine. But I'm not going to allow you to just badmouth him for no apparent reason. So, I will limit it to 20. But I think we are going... I mean, Muslims, you could try to come on here real quick. I will send out the invite one more time to everyone. Invite, but this is your last chance. Either step up or you will be called out. Because let's be honest, we do not respect people who just mouth off. You got to be able to step up if you're going to try to pick a fight. Okay? Very simple. So we have that there in the chat. Now, I will be live tomorrow with Elle, actually on another channel on John Newton Sci-Fi, with John and a panel of others that have seen the recent movie Bonhoeffer, I think. I don't know. It's a German name. I'm very bad at it. It's the new one from Angel Studios. It is... the new one from Angel Studios. We will be giving a review on it. We did a review on The Cost of Discipleship, which was the book that he wrote. One of the books, there are many books he wrote, but one of the books he wrote previously. Bonhoeffer did. Bonhoeffer. I'm probably butchering this, not off his name. Please correct me in the comments section if I am misspeaking. But we will be live on there talking about it, Angel Studios. I will also be mentioning a couple other Angel Studio projects that are coming up that I'm very interested in. I saw some basically ads at the beginning for more Angel Studios videos, which I was kind of shocked by who I recognized in one of the ads. It was interesting. Very interesting. The person that is in the video it does do YouTube. So there's that aspect of it. No, I've not met them, but it's someone that I do follow who is in one of the Angel Studios upcoming films. We will be talking about that more later on John Newton Sci-Fi channel. Later on, I'll make a post of that as it gets closer. And we'll see. Because, man, Shift was very well done. Shift was very well done. I enjoyed that movie. But it seems like I might have given the Muslims the opportunity to show up. So I will go through the comments each. Let's remove this. There we go. You said nothing I said is true. You failed to prove anything, bud. You are a disappointment. I am disappointed in you. You tried calling me out. Couldn't do it. Bit cowardless. Fine. So, next one down. May Allah put you where you deserve. Amen. Well, guess what? Allah kind of failed. Because if Allah wanted to put me in my place, to me it was kind of a good timing. Because if I had done anything wrong, then it would have been very easy for a Muslim to come up here and disprove me. But considering the only Muslim who joined couldn't even get even to the first. There we go. There we go. That's it. Thank you very much. I will give my inputs on that movie later on. Please don't do. I do mix the two occasionally when it is necessary. But most of the time I keep it focused on the ministry that this channel is focused on. So let's see here. So here we go. Again, said that this was false propaganda. Didn't show up. Claims that I don't know anything about Jesus. Again, it wouldn't have been Palestine. There's never been a state of Palestine as far as an independent nation. And guess what? Palestine as a word did not even exist until well over 100 years after Jesus lived. So again, bit of failure there. Again, you claim that I didn't know anything, that I was twisting it, that I was lying, that I was making a huge mistake. Yeah, huge mistake. And that you would curse me. I think it was you that said you'd curse me. Yeah. Don't make us invoke the curse of Allah on you. I'm just curious, would that be severing the aorta, the same curse that Muhammad died of as a false prophet? Yep. Here we go again. Saying I was dumb. Couldn't show up. Couldn't come and own it. Very easy. Hour and a half long. Nothing there. It said without lies. Well, Christianity is still here. And even unchallenged by Muslims because you got no strength. You really don't. Again, if you want to try to clarify that, I don't understand Arabic, and obviously Arabic, the other Muslim scholars didn't understand Arabic. They couldn't have possibly known it. And the people that translated it, and all those Muslims were wrong, but you're right. Still failed on showing up. No point in doing warm-up because you never actually showed up. Neither of you two showed up, even though you said you were making a response video and have failed to do so. If he does make a response video, though, I will watch it. I will watch the response video. I may even do a live stream on it. At least it'd be something. I mean, seriously, I'm scraping the bottom of the drags here. I called your religion something very derogatory. Showed how it was actually that. And nothing. Neither of you released any videos about it or showed up for this live stream. Even though I'm still live on TikTok and I am, again, shocked. But I'm not going to argue. Again, not showing up to show at all. Propaganda, nope. I am a corpse worshiper, according to him, and I am beneath him because he wasn't even be willing to have a conversation and show up. Claims that I am a liar. Again, the Bible does not allow sex with daughters. I don't know of anyone who is named maybe meant Luth, the book of Luth. Luke, maybe? Luke? Do you mean Luke? I don't know. I'm trying to guess here, okay? And multiple wives, again, Solomon and David, and Solomon specifically was told that was wrong. It was very obviously, and even David's situation, it was not a good situation. Liar, nope. You didn't show up. You're a coward. Again, you claim that they didn't support bestiality. Couldn't show up. You're a coward. Such a coward. Well, I'm sorry. Hey, if no one's going to join, I end up talking to myself, to a camera, to the audience. That's all I got. But it seems that you might have been a bit of a coward yourself. Because again, you didn't show up. You are such a coward. I dare you to say this in front of Mohammed Hijab. Because he doesn't support it. Well, first of all, the video was very clear that Mohammed Hijab did not support it. The video was saying, hey, Islam does support it, even though Mohammed Hijab is claiming otherwise. But, again, you couldn't show up. And last but not least, we'll add this one on. Again, not lying. Sources are there. You know, if someone is lying, the last thing they'd want to do is give you the sources. I don't understand why these people don't understand basic stuff. And of course, this guy said that he wouldn't join because he is above us. So, he must be above defending Islam too. So, we'll go down through the comments real quick here. Let's see here. So, we have animals. Yes, it is. It is halal. Except pigs, actually, according to some scholars, pigs are involved. It's just eating them in a certain type of way that's not allowed. No, it doesn't actually. I don't see any sources that specifically say that you can't do it with pigs. Obviously, it contains false verses. Yep. Not going to argue there. And if a Muslim comes on and says, ew, if our friend from our last stream that came on last second would come on again, this wouldn't apply to him. Because this would be referring to Quran and Muslim scholars that he wouldn't say are authoritative at all. So... But if you're Shia or Sunni, the answer is, oh, shoot, yes. So. Oh, golly. Dude, okay. Don't say coward. No. Bad. Laughing faces, no. It's true, but no. Yeah, they don't know it. They don't want to defend it. They aren't willing to come up here and have a conversation. Again, the only Muslim who did, we weren't even able to get to a conversation before he wanted to run to another topic to complain about a goat eating Quran. Which, again, I made the original. I still really like this concept. I got plenty of Quran pieces. So, that to be said. Why would anyone be afraid of Mojab? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He's all bluster. There's nothing there. There's nothing of substance. It's just like all the sources in Islam. It's only skin deep. There's nothing actually there once you actually start looking. Well, by that, I mean there's nothing as far as the history of the actual history of the Quran outside of the Muslim sources. Guys, seriously, Muslims, come on, you can do better. I believe in you. You are more valuable than this. You are more than this. Come on. Step up. As long as you're not reading through it, because it is a slog to read through. Makes me laugh. Always makes my day. I don't know, man. Sometimes I get depressed about the stuff that's in there because they actually believe this stuff. They actually accept it. Muslims are leaving Islam too fast. That's hilarious. Yep. Islam is the highest, the religion with the most apostasy according to its own beliefs. Because everyone's born a Muslim. Well, the problem with that is then I was born a Muslim and I left Islam. So do the math. If you don't have the majority of the world, which Islam is not the majority religion in the world, then you have more apostates than you do religious followers. So, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I would, yes. Yep. I would not recommend necessarily digging into this because it is a nasty topic. But it is part of Islam. It is there. And to tell you truthfully, with the sources, as you can see, by all the Muslims who were invited, none of them showed up. I figured out of 20, I could get one. Definitely when they were saying, yes, I'm writing this down on my calendar. I will be there. I'll totally be there. No show up. Hey, Truth Defenders. Welcome. So, well, if that is all she wrote on this, Muslims, Islam promotes bestiality. There's no question about that. It is something that is there. And I'm hoping not to have to revisit this topic when all of you guys in the comment section decide, oh, look, I'm going to now make a response because I didn't show up when he streamed for 1 hour and 47 minutes on a date that he reminded me multiple times that it was actually happening in both my personal comment as well as a group comment to everyone on my community tab. And the best you get is someone who just runs to insults, who can't even get to the first source. So be it. So be it. We will go ahead and end with that, I guess. I do have one last present for you guys just to use. Clip this, use it, look up the original people who posted it because this is not my original video. This is a video that is there, and then I need to say a special thank you to the members I had at the beginning of this live stream. And any new members, I will add you onto the list once we get there. But you know what? All I got to say is Dios Volt.
تبارک و تعالی چند قسم حیوان خلق کرده. یک قسم حیوان خلق کرده برای اینکه مردم وسیله سفر باشه براشون. اسب، شتر، این حیوانات چارپاست که مردم ازش استفاده میکنن برای سفرهاشون. این یک قسم حیوانه. یک قسم حیوان خدا خلق کرده که وسیله غذای مردمه و اون مثل گاو و گوسفنده که خدا اینها را خلق کرده برای اینکه وسیله غذای مردم باشه. و یک قسم حیوان خلق کرده و اون زنها و خانمها هستن. اینا عین گاو و گوسفند هستن، حیوان هستن، ولکن و خدا خلقشون کرده برای استفاده مردها، فقط واسه که مردا وحشت نکنن این زنها را به شکل خود انسان خلق کرده. اگر نه اینها عین همون گاو و گوسفند و عین همون اسب و شتر و الاغ هستن.
And we're proud of that. Yeah?
Brother, And thank you to all the members Thank you for contributing and keeping this content going. If you'd like to contribute as well, you can click the join button and share this video. Let us grow closer to Christ together.